Yeah, I'm just sitting here in the car for a few minutes. I'm doing a quick edit on my phone on something I just shot. Not very good, but I'm just playing with technique. Sometimes just playing with technique is what makes the best pictures. So I'm working on narrow depth of field, iPhone, computational photography, just seeing what I can get done here. I've already made my final photo. I made it earlier this morning when I went to the early services at church. One of the statues, the Mary statue out front, had ice dangling from her fingertips. So I made that picture this morning. I'm sure that's going to be my final photo because I haven't shot a lot of other things today. It's New Year's Day and I'm not spending a lot of time making photographs. I just wanted to come out one more quick time just to look at a couple of things. The water's really high in the creek. I wanted to see how high it was, what it might look like. It doesn't really look any different than what it usually does in high water. It's not as high as it's been in the past. It may get that way in the next couple of days. There's more rain forecast. That's something to put in your mind for another My Final Photo picture for later in the week. We'll see what that looks like. This is New Year's Day and I'm making sure that my resolutions are going to be followed through on. They're really simple. I got 3 resolutions. I'm going to mute, I'm going to unsubscribe, and I'm going to disavow. Now you can figure out who's going to get muted, where I'm going to unsubscribe, and from what I am going to disavow. And it may all 3 be the same. And it just may be promises I'll never keep. But it is New Year's, so you have to make resolutions. I also have a couple of tweets. You might go look at my Twitter account, @GaryGardner, just to see a couple of tweets I made today on New Year's resolutions and see what you think. Might be fun. You should follow me on Twitter. Speaking of follow me on Twitter, you should make some New Year's resolutions for yourselves. Real simple. You should resolve to follow me on Twitter. But you should make a New Year's resolution to subscribe and like and comment and share on this YouTube channel. Now that is a resolution you can live with. I can live with it. You can live with it. Not going to cause you any harm, not going to cause you any difficulty, not going to cost you anything but the little bit of time it takes to click subscribe and click like, write a comment, and share. Please do that. Now 2021 is going to be a really neat year, but I'm not sure how neat it's going to be. I have a quick story to tell. On the 30th of December, 2 days before today, I went over to City Hall where they have the 2021 letters set up, 2021 number set up, and they're all lighted. And I went over and made a picture on New Year's Eve. Photographed it, looked really nice. All the lights were all bright and shiny, and I said, you know, I really need to come back here on New Year's Eve and shoot that, because it'll be better to shoot 2021 on New Year's Eve. It'll make a nice tweet. It'll make a nice My Final Photo. It'll be topical. I'll be able to do something nice with it. So I waited till the next day. I went over in the middle of the afternoon just to see what it looked like. The previous day had been raining and there was nice reflections of the light on the brick, and I thought I might be able to get something similar, but didn't really look near as good because it wasn't near as wet. But I did notice something that really kind of brought light to what 2020 was and what 2021 was. When the lights were first installed on the 2021 numbers in front of City Hall, they all worked. They were all incandescents. They were all bright. They were all shiny. It looked spectacular. New Year's Eve you go over and about a third of them are burned out. So if you look at it, it looks like 2021, it was half lit. That 2021 didn't have its full brightness showing on New Year's Eve. One interesting thing that had happened, and I don't know how I'd really illustrate this, but it appears from the length of time in the afternoon when I saw the bulbs burned out. There were several sections that had been burned out. When I went back on New Year's Eve to make the nighttime pictures, someone had taken the time to evenly distribute the lit bulbs across the entire set of numbers. It appeared there were less sections of the numbers that were burned out. It's really hard to see. I thought that was interesting that someone, don't know who, Don't know if it was from someone from the city or just a passerby who noticed the same thing I noticed, had decided to take it upon themselves to make it look right. Thought that was an interesting moment. I think there are a lot of people that like to take the time to make 2021 look right. There's going to be a lot of changes. There's going to be new politics. We're going to have some medicines that might help us through the year. We'll see how much of this changes and how much of the little tiny light bulbs where 2021 appeared to be half lit are really indicators of what the year is going to be like. I know everyone is glad 2020 is gone. They're glad to see a new year. They're glad to see things happen better. I'll be glad to see you subscribe, like, comment, and share. Had to get that in there. You know, after all, I'm doing YouTube. Got to say all those things. Listen, I'm wishing you a happy new year. I hope this is a great time. I hope that you don't have any dim bulbs through the year. I hope you don't have anything burn out during the year. Hope you're fully lit for 2021. I'll see you soon, and I'll be back in a minute. Promise.